I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
time for the In the Queue podcast with DJ Greggy C, Greg Curran, and David Hanscom. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube Live. Just search for In the Queue podcast or go to inthequeuepodcast.com. Please like our show and share this broadcast to show your support and pass on the good karma to help educate everyone how to be the best entertainer they can be. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and get notified when we go live, which is every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
And the crowd goes wild.
and oh my God, the crowd goes wild. Yeah, how are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. You got a lot going on with your video over there, man.
It's all right. I've got backups. Hopefully, if that happens.
That's all good.
No, we got backups. Yeah,
maybe. Will we see Greg tonight? There he is. There he is.
I got. Oh, look at you.
Yeah.
You know, I had to use the special computer I had for our sound effects. I said, this would be great for bridal shows.
Well, they actually, believe it or not, they just actually implemented these in the software. So
you can just kidding me
directly from the software now. Yeah.
Little buttons that you can push and do like that. Oh, that's great. You know, the one thing they didn't have that they had in the green room of the last software, just, you know, in case you're talking to the guys at corporate there, there was no way to test to see if my volume was working. Like
volume that you can hear or volume that we can hear of you.
Well, and it was weird because every time I plug in my Mbox, it takes over the sound card of my entire computer. Yeah. And that's why I was panicking earlier. I'm like, I'm not getting any sound.
Vince wants to know if this is his shirt you have on.
No, I stole this from a leprechaun.
Well, in that case.
Yeah, but I'm loving that thing.
Hey, Carol, how are you? How are you?
Hello, Carol. Hello, everybody. We've been going.
To say that.
Yeah, we've been going for a minute, buddy.
I know. You know, it is proof positive that this business is back in full force. You know.
Oh yeah. Well, the minute here, at least on the Northeast, the minute they lifted that mask mandate for schools,
yeah,
it was like that was the bell, or that was the button everybody said was going to, you know, ring to all clear, and it was just going to go nuts. And sure enough, because that's when the schools really just flooded. You know, it was the schools, and it was the companies that, you know, were the holdouts. In other words, those that weren't doing it outside all the time. And up here, down there, it's easy for you. It's warm.
Yeah, I mean, I think partially too. I mean, I kind of get it. Like from the standpoint of a school or a company, like there's a different sense of liability, a different level of liability versus a private event for like a wedding or something like that. You know what I mean? So from that standpoint, like I get it, I guess. But I'm just glad to be working again, truthfully.
Gotcha. Yeah, me too. Yeah. No, I'm same thing. And you know, it was safety for everybody. Yeah, I mean, I get it, but there were still with us. You know, there were those parties that was outside, and we were socially distant. They were doing it right. They were very safe, and then we had to be safe. And there was talk about covering your microphones with the microphone condom.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, and this and that and the other thing. But no, I'm glad we've all learned to survive and have gone our way and etc. You know, and lived and learned. So with that, we may or may not have a surprise guest. I was talking to somebody like, well, I'm gonna have some dinner and then I'm gonna check you out. I'm like, kind of wanted to have you on to talk and speak with us and have some fun. But regardless of that, you know, who was our last? What was the last thing we talked about? Was that Harvest of Sound?
Yeah, Harvest of Sound, man. Yep.
Harvest of Sound. I've got good news and bad news.
Okay.
That's the second week in December, isn't it?
I think it's the first week, man.
First or second, whatever it was. I was looking on my schedule. I'm just like, oh, I don't have anything at all. You know, in December, we are looking to go to Belize. So I'm like, So, but
yeah, I guess depending on how you look at it, it's December the 5th and 6th, I believe. So
okay, yeah. We shall see. It might conflict with a winter holiday for me. So
yeah, I just got my tickets the other day.
Did you? Okay. Speaking of tickets, you know, and I wanted to go through a whole bunch of different tips and things, etc. And I got my tickets to the DJ Expo already, and it's kind of weird if you go on their website, djtimes.com, or you go to DJ Expo. You really it's hard to find. I don't correct me if I'm wrong. You can't find a place to register to get tickets.
Mm.
I was looking at it about an hour before the show. I'm just like, no, I'm not wrong here.
Go look.
And I mean, go look while I talk a little bit about this. But one of the things is, it was easy, and they would always have, here are the keynote speakers, here's this, here's that, and I went to the site, and the only thing really that they're pressing is that the dates are out for 2022, which is August 8th through 11th at the Hard Rock Live Casino. And really, they have, DJ Jess is still up there with last year's seminar. God bless her, love her, and Big Daddy's up there too, from last year. But nothing about any of the seminars or anything like that has been released.
Oh, I see it here now. Yeah.
For this year, or if it is, it's kind of hidden in there. It's not easily found, when you go through their website page. So, I guess.
Speaking of Jess, we had her on Wedding Business Growth last week, man.
Yes, no, I tune in sometimes if I'm driving and I can't really, respond or whatever. I'll just pop it on because I get that text like I get for In the Queue. It'll say, "Oh, Wedding Business Growth is live," or "In the Queue podcast is live. Come join us now." I just hit that link and just watch. So
try to make it as easy as possible for everybody, right?
Yeah. And that reminds everybody, look, while you were there, I think you should have, let me take a look here. Yeah. He has the number at the bottom of the screen. Take a look down there. Streaming across the bottom, 904-582-8807. And you'll get notified just like I do every time In the Queue goes live. It'll come right to your cell phone, and no matter where you are, hell, maybe you're sitting somewhere waiting, looking for something to do. Say, hey, great, I can check out In the Queue podcast. So
there you go.
Well, you can just ask your favorite device, Alexa, Google, and all those people. They know it as well.
By the way, so I'm on the site, and I agree. It's you've got a button here for accommodations, which if you want to reserve a room, you can definitely do that.
Right. But, okay. I just want to look. You're always you're the yang to my yin. You always keep me in check.
Yeah.
So with that said, our friends over at the DJ Entertainment School were able to create a link here. I'm going to put this copy. I'm going to put that right in can I put it in the private, the stream? Should I put it in the stream? Where can I put it?
You should be able to put it in the stream. Yeah.
Private chat. Write your message. Have a private chat.
All right, fine. Yeah, that's fine. I'll copy and paste it into the.
Yeah, it's telling me nothing. I can't do it in the stream. How about that?
I got you.
Only supported by hosts. But yeah, there is your link. We were able to. I was doing a lot of surfing through the school, and I said, "Hey, where is this done?" It's done through Eventbrite. All right. So really, if you search for DJX through Eventbrite, you'll see the dates that are there. But this is really the first tip and the first thing I wanted to share with everybody, because I said, Dave, I really wanted to talk because so many people have asked me so many things over the past year, the past 6 months, that I've written a lot of these things down and a lot of these websites. Really, it's a bunch of websites. It's how to do this or what to do that. And the biggest thing is, are they having the expo this year? Is Peavy going this year? Am I going to be able to spin this year? Is Name offering a discount for passes for the DJ Expo? And look at that. Yes, they are.
Looks like the answer to that is yes.
Yes. And do you have the codes there? I think, it's the codes should be popping up. So Carol will do her due diligence and give us those codes. And or check out the Name website or the blog. You should get those codes there. But anyway, that is really how to sign up. If you didn't get that link, and you can replay it through our replays, just go to Eventbrite, search for DJ Expo 2022 at Atlantic City, the Hard Rock Live Casino, and you'll be able to sign up. Do it before, was it June 15th? I think it is.
I think I saw June 14th on there. So yep.
Or you're paying. And I mean that's they hold true to that. You don't want to wait till the last minute, procrastinate, and then you have 2 months left to go before the thing in August, and you didn't sign up, and now you got to pay. Right. So, with that said, there you go.
You know what? Let's, if we can, I think we kind of glazed over Mondays and our schedule and so forth. And I think it bodes, just addressing the fact that we, when we first set out to do this podcast, we were both at home, not working, COVID stricken and just looking for anything to do. Not saying that we had COVID, just saying that, COVID was preventing us from being able to work and all of that stuff. So an every Monday thing was a lot easier to do. And maybe much like some of our viewers and some of our listeners on the podcast side, both of us are starting to, sometimes both of us are working, and then sometimes one of us is working, the other one is not. And it just creates a little bit of a challenge to be able to be available, every single Monday. So that being said, we really want to just kind of ask you all to definitely rely on the text club. That's why we have that, the text notification club. That'll let you know so you don't miss an episode. And we just want y'all. We just want to be like transparent with y'all. Just let you know. Just like you, if we're not here on Monday night, it's because we're working.
Right. Yeah. No. I have Vince, Andrew. Every once in a while, they guys, you're not on. I get the text and they look for us every Monday. It's not an every Monday night thing. It's Mondays when we're not working. And for the past, I think 3 weeks, I grabbed this account. We're like, can you come out this week again? Sure. Yes. I mean, and none of us are going to say no, to money. Well,
you gotta do it. You gotta do what you gotta do to make to make up for the losses that that have already occurred. Like there's no guarantee to be able to make up for all of it, but over time you want to try to make up for as much of it as you can.
Well, that said, we had one of our guests in a previous show. He was with the company, was an American Wedding Group in the pros, and look, they're looking for DJs nationwide.
Wow.
And that's one of my links too. What's up, Braden? How are you, dude? Missed you, buddy. Speaking of regulars that have missed the show and wondered where we were, there is one of them. But I think I put it in the chat for you, in the private chat, a couple more
right now. Gotcha.
And a shout out to not only the school, which I'm involved with heavily. And I was looking to get Throwdown in with us tonight, but he was going to be one of the spare guests. And maybe if Throwdown comes in and or Cutlass, they both now have that link. So we shall see. But anyway, with that said, education, there's Throwdown, shout out to Beat Refinery, and also shout out to the DJ Entertainment School, one of the main sponsors here. And the link is really to the blog that has not only the latest one is the link to the DJ Expo and how to register, but helpful hints and helpful things like that. And the other link that I've included is another one of our sponsors. It's promobiledj.com. So just some places where people are always saying, hey, where can I get some tips? Where can I get some ideas? Because they're constantly floating around certain areas, but they want to hear from, guys like you and I. And Dave and I are actually writers on Pro Mobile DJ. And a lot of the stuff, that comes from the school comes from the interminglings I have with David and the board members of Name and just all of the DJs, that I've come into contact with within all those years. So those two sites, are
well, in all fairness, you probably are better at being a writer than I am on that stuff. So I will definitely give you kudos for that, man. My writing sometimes leaves a little to be desired, and by writing I mean lack of doing it.
I'm not a creative writer, more than less. I'm more that textbook, like how to, this is it, black and white, there's no imagination in me. There's no Shakespeare. There's no, whatever, my kid's reading Shakespeare and I'm just like, I couldn't tell you, I slept through most of it.
Yeah.
But yeah. So really they're starting with links, there's Pro Mobile DJ and then there's the school. And then, obviously the school has the standard link, www.djentertainmentschool.com, because people are always, what can I do? Where can I get classes? Look, everybody does them online. All you got to do is really Google classes, but that's, I've been flooded with that as well. That's the other thing that, I like to do. I also, throw a bunch of classes to Millie Mill. I also throw a bunch of classes to Cutlass. and whether it's online or face to face, we go through and do that.
Right.
The other thing too, besides all this, the networking, it's the Facebook groups. There's so many of them out there. And I'm just saying Facebook groups. I'm not even going into the crews, but the groups like DJ idea sharing, like the International DJ Cafe, whatever. Digital DJing, there's so many. If you were to just go in the groups and type in your interests, especially around DJing or music, you'll be surprised in what you find. And whether it's a small group that has maybe 100 people or a large group that has tens of thousands of people.
Right.
This is one thing that I think in education that people forget too in networking, when they're cooped up, when they can't get out, So
I mean, I think we talked, and I think we touched on that a lot during
yes.
during the tail end of COVID about,
Yes.
hey, this is the time to be getting educated. This is the time to be, doing all of those things that you always say, I wish I had time to do, because ultimately what's going to end up happening is you're going to procrastinate. Most people do. And then all of a sudden you're going to get busy again. And then you're going to be right back into the same situation where you're like, man, look at all that. But it's going to be double as bad, because now you're still behind the 8 ball. Plus you really didn't, you're really going to be kicking yourself in the ass for not, taking the time to do the things you should have done when you had the time to do them. So,
and speaking of that, as you noticed, things that we've spoken of, most everything that I am going over, we literally have going on in one of our shows.
Right.
What was, hold on. Can't type and talk at the same time.
It's okay.
That's not eat. That's Senate. www.senatedjs.com. Now, when you take it away from the Facebook groups and you want to go to crews, there is the Senate DJs. That was one of the guys we have, Soho and Dramatic. They're just one of many. I mean, there's the Supreme DJs. There's DJ City out there. I could go on and on and on. Here, one of my favorites, they're organized like Senate, Fleet. Love the guys at Fleet DJ. So shout out to the Fleet DJ crew. And these are crews not necessarily monetized.
Oops, I spelled it wrong too.
www.senate.
Let's try this again.
Senate DJs.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. That's all my bad.
That's really okay, brother. But in other words, these crews help you take it to the next level, as we like to say at the school, because you always got to strive to be the best, to do something more and to learn and to take your education further, in this business, and then to be able to pass on your knowledge to others.
Right.
So like I said, places like that, Senate, Supreme, DJ City, whomever, the Fleet guys and gals, they're fabulous crews of DJs they're all centered around the same thing, learning and sharing knowledge, and helping each other out. It's always good to have, friends or people around you, because when you get into trouble, who are you going to call? Go ahead, say it.
Ghostbusters ain't going to answer. I know that.
That's right. Ghostbusters ain't going to answer, my friend. Yeah. And a shout out to, Hugh Riley was another one of our guests at the Pros. People have been saying, Greg, can you get me jobs? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, sure. Well, if you're in the Philadelphia area, Philadelphia, New Jersey, New York, Delaware, Southeastern Pennsylvania, with my marketing, that's my, the circle I draw around Philly, that sure, I can grab you jobs around there because I network with people. But, if you're in other states, like I used to be up, with the guys up in Boston, I was friendly up there. I don't do my marketing there, or I don't do them down in Florida or things like that. Well, the Pros, or the American Wedding Group, which is part of, I guess, the Pros are part of the American Wedding Group. They offer, work to DJs. I mean, look, it's not the best pay in the world. You're not getting $1,000 an hour, but it's something when you have nothing and you're looking to do whatever. And I'll tell you what, Dave, a lot of my DJ friends who are out of work are out there driving for Uber, driving for Lyft, driving for Grubhub. You gotta tell me that making a couple $100 on the weekend for a 4-hour job is better than doing that. I don't know.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. At the end of the day,
Okay.
you are going to you're going to basically have to make money one way or the other. So if you're going to go deliver food for 9 hours to make $200, or if you're going to go DJ an event for 4 or 5 hours to make $200, there's your time save right there, and you're still. I love the old saying, you're still sharpening your sword. You're still getting your reps in. You're still being able to do what you love to do. And that's a very good point. I mean, when the opportunities are not always abundant, you have to take what opportunities that are there and so forth. Braden says, how much does Amazon pay?
Well, hold on. With that being said, Braden, depending upon if you're like an influencer, like David or I, and David, I haven't seen David take advantage of this. I've seen a lot of other guys on YouTube that do it. And I started to do it, and lo and behold, I started making money quickly. At least in the school, people are always saying, what do you recommend? What equipment, what this, what that? There's a page on the school that says equipment. All of it's in an Amazon affiliate link.
Oh yeah.
And what it is, these people are happy to buy on Amazon. They're not happy to buy on other sites or even go to brand name places. And half of the brand name places, and I'm not going to mention any of them because a lot of them I'm friends with, are out of stock right now. It's all on these ships that are sitting in the ocean somewhere, as they say. So whatever. When we want it now. So we're just going to go on Amazon and say, all right, well, what's available?
So who's got it and how quickly can I get it?
Exactly. Or what can I use to make money now? I'm not going to wait 6 months. I need to make money now. Then let me use the alternative that's going to work. And if it doesn't work, Amazon's going to refund it. So that said, you use the Amazon associates, Google how to do it. You sign up and boom. You can be an associate at every website. I used to teach that years ago when the internet first started. People, how do I make money and get rich off the internet? Go to every damn website that you believe in, that you want to sell stuff off of. Scroll all the way to the bottom. And you're either going to see a join us link or an affiliate link. That join us link is how to be hired in that company. People don't even know that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, the affiliate link at the bottom is way to sell their products and get a piece of the action. Listen out there, my hustlers. Everybody's looking to do a hustle or a side hustle or get a piece of the action. That is what the affiliate links on all these damn websites do. Hell, makesparties.com. Do you remember that, David? Part of the Cleveland, was it Rhode Island Novelty Company?
Rhode Island Novelty, yep.
All these DJs were making thousands, hundreds of dollars by selling their party favors to their clients through their website, and Makes Parties was making money hand over fist doing it. Same exact idea or same exact thing. And
if you still don't understand, go watch I don't know, Goodfellas, Casino,
The Hustle. Hustle, right? Yeah.
American Gangster. Go watch any of those movies and you'll see how this whole process works.
Exactly. Like Carbone had all of those furs. He had the store in the meat locker. You know what?
Everybody's getting their own little piece of the puzzle of the pie, but nobody's really getting as much as the head guy is, but everybody's getting a little piece of the pie.
And look, that's how it works in this industry. And if you're honest with everybody, there are no people that get their underwear in a twist. Because certain people do. They're upset and they don't understand that really the standard booking agent fee is 20%. I mean, one of the big things that's on my list that I could bring, soon, when we get organized and relax, we're going to have the DJ pricing summit, and somebody got their little panties in a twist, excuse my French, because a gig came in. It was a $500 gig. So, I need this covered. I need this covered. Okay, I'll cover it for you. I'm going to take my standard fee and get it covered. I paid a guy $400. I kept $100. The thing's covered. 20% fee. Am I wrong? Somebody got their panties in a twist. Well, I want that $100. Well, you couldn't do the fucking gig. You wanted to sit home. Excuse my French, but you wanted to sit home on your. I'm too tired. Or I'm too afraid. Or whatever the story was. Who cares? It's not your gig. Yeah. If you wanted to keep it, you would have said, all right, I got 6. I'm passing it to you for 5. Whatever. Point being is in this business, you got to make money, whether it's $5, $10, $15, $25, unless they're family or friends.
It all adds up.
Anyway, you see the intelligence,
Yep. I'll throw
everybody is asking me, how do I get music charts? So there's really two places. One is the intelligence charts. It'll tell you every damn place that you can go, or every damn song that's been played through intelligence within the past X number of years, weddings, yada, 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 yada. The second place, though, to go and check out is one of our sponsors, Crate Hackers. And especially if you use Serato DJ, because they literally, I don't want to say they do the work for you, but they almost do. I mean, they make it that easy, and they take the guesswork out of a lot of it, because the last thing you want to sit there and do is, freeze in your head and say, oh, I just played Cardi B. What do I play next? Or I'm at a kid's show. What do I play next? Or I'm at this type of show. What do I do?
Yeah.
What do I play next? Crate Hackers takes that guesswork away. And what it really does is it takes that time, instead of fluttering through all those lists at that link I gave you from DJ Intelligence, djintelligence.com/charts. You don't have to go through that. It's really done for you. And you go through a crate that has all of the bangers and all of the gold that's accessible to you, right there. Have you had, any experience, that it saved you or helped you out right yet? Have you even dived into it yet?
On Crate Hackers?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, the thing I love about Crate Hackers is especially when you're doing a format of music that maybe you're not as super familiar with, like like maybe it's Latin music, maybe it's country music, maybe it's Bollywood music, right? Yep. And I can almost guarantee you that just about anything that you could think of from a format standpoint, there is somebody who has created a crate already, or there is more than enough people that are ready to jump on creating a crate. And it allows you, now it's not necessarily going to give you 4 hours worth of music or 5 hours worth of music, but it's going to give you kind of the bangers and the stuff that's going to work in that particular format or genre that you're looking to DJ in. And it will help you kind of stand out from your competition who maybe does not know how to do that. It doesn't have that resource, or just is not possible, does not have the resources to be able to come up with these.
Yeah, man.
So it makes you look like an expert, even if you don't, really know it.
Dude, I'm not a country expert, okay? But thanks to Crate Hackers, I get 4 more gigs after doing a country gig. Oh, you got to do my country gig, blah, 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 blah. And really, I thank it to them, because they have these awesome crates that I play, and everybody's like, oh my God, you read my mind. You played all the hits, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh, there it is. So here's another tip, and I hate to monopolize this, but I've got so many of these damn things that people have asked, and you utilize this one I'm proud of, because I showed you and you jumped right in really quick, and I swear both of these sites that I just put in the text for you to put up, they are both part of the same family. And I'll tell you now, this one of them is a secret, because I was charging people for a while to do this. I still do, because they're lazy. They're, how much you want? Make me a banner because I'm at this club, or I'm at this bar, and it's crab night, it's this night, it's da 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 da, and I want it for Instagram, or I want it for here, or I want it for there. The site will do all that for you. Just tell it what you want it for, whether it's Instagram or how big you want the graphic to be. If you want video, you got to pay. If you just want a picture, you don't. And it's simple. It's postermywall.com, www.postermywall.com, or Canva. Canva.com. Both of those sites, they're relatively similar. I've seen you could do a whole lot more with Canva. I actually designed the cover to my book with a PDF through Canva, just because it worked for me. I was trying to do it in a software I paid like $300 for, and I couldn't do it. I was Canva was easier.
That's what I use. Pretty much exclusively.
Love it. And really, you could probably do the same stuff with Poster My Wall. Poster My Wall is really easy for me. And it's just, I have little sections of here. This is for the school. Here, this is for in the queue. Here, this is for the cafe. Here, this is for name. Here, this is for this person. Here, this is for that person. And most people, I'm like, I'll just make it for you. Other people, you know what? They're like, oh, what do you want me to throw you? I don't know. What's your other guy? Hey, get charged $25. All right, I'll make one. Takes me about 10, 15 minutes. $25. Time is money. And while speaking of all of that, one thing that has been selling, and I got to put it literally on the front page of my website. Every time I've mentioned to a client, he talks about lights and he sees a gobo light. It's like, oh, I got to have your gobo light. Got to have a gobo light. Another, 100 and a half for just putting a light out on the floor that's up all night. And I have, what is it? The American DJ, the one you print yourself?
I don't know. I do. Honestly, I do mine with a projector, and I create them in Photoshop and then do it with a projector. You know what?
I have 3 or 4 projectors. I've even made one for a guy and said, here, just use this. It's a transparent PNG. I just never have used my projector because I had bought one of those American DJ ones that's awesome. The problem is that the gobo is so small, you got to cut it. But I was, doing those and making those for people. And once again, a lot of DJs, because certain gobos are expensive,
Yeah.
What's so Braden
we were reading Braden's mind. He asked a question. Do y'all use digital monograms? If so, where do you get them from? Also, what do you use to shine the monogram? So the answer to that question for me is yes. And I actually, and I don't know if he still does them or not, but there's a gentleman by the name of Donnie Lewis, Donnie Lewis. He's out of the New York area, and he created kind of a pack, if you will, of templates for monograms and things like that. And somebody definitely worth looking into, and I think he maybe still might be doing it. Wow. And then any projector, I mean, it obviously depending on the setting, you probably want to have a projector that has a decent amount of lumens, but the reality is you can create them yourselves in Photoshop, or there is I'm going to see if I can find it real quick while you're talking maybe, and then I'll bring it up when I find it. But there's even a free alternative to Photoshop that you can just do right on you can just do right in your browser. And that's obviously it doesn't have every single thing that Photoshop does, but it's pretty damn close. And it works really well.
There's a few of them, and once again, it's whatever you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
One of them was paint.net that I was going to share because that somebody says instead of using Photoshop, what do you have that's Photoshop-ish? And I send everybody to that. And that is www.getpaint.net, GETPAINT. And it's just, once again, it's what you're comfortable with. I mean, they have paint that's right on certain people's computers. I'm sure Mac has their own built-in, thing as well. But www.getpaint.net. Yeah, there you go. I don't know if it.
I'll get it.
Shown, or if you can, double copy.
Working on it right now.
But yeah, and look, there's another one that it's an online editor. I used it. It's cool too. I'm sure if you type online picture editor, it'll come right up. It's one of the, that's exactly what I did. But I just like something to have on my computer. Why do I do that? Because I'm doing a lot of photo booth work, and I'm doing a lot of photography on the spot too. As a DJ, I have a couple of small printers. I bring out a DSLR camera to certain gigs, and I'll do instantaneous 4x6 prints, get a bunch of frames that I get, at wholesale price, and boom, put them in there, and, an extra G for certain parties, or you do the the red carpet and the whole red carpet treatment, or the Oscars treatment. And if they're lucky, I slap them in the face when they come by. So. Come on, where's the drum roll?
Too funny. Well, you know what it is. I'm dialed in on trying to find this site that I put push so much that I'm like, I need to find this thing so I don't sound like an idiot.
Oh, the paint. Well,
this Photoshop.
I would love. Yeah, no, I would love I would love to know it. Because it not only that, there's also somebody showed me, and I had use for it. I don't have use for it all the time, but it's good. It's an online video editing, and it's odd how it did it, but it's not for huge files, but it was able to edit small videos, and it was something similar to what I think you're going to show me. And if I'm not mistaken, the icon was green. I forget what that was, but getpaint.net was the one I was talking about. Oh my God. www.mixxx.org. Yeah. www.mix, M-I-X-X, like a triple X movie, .org.
Nice.
I don't know if I've ever talked about this on the show.
All right.
We talked about paint.net, which is an open source Photoshop. I'm going to talk after this about the open source Word spreadsheet, which if everybody doesn't not know that it's out there, it's called Open Office, and you've probably heard of Open Office. Well, this think of it. It's called Open DJ. www.mixxx.org. If you check it out and you go there to the site, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. It's free DJ software, open source for Windows, Mac, and Linux. It has everything. BPM, key detection, sync, controller support, MIDI for most all or any MIDI or HID device now. Vinyl record control. It has effects, and all of it's free and open source. And which means is they're constantly fixing the damn thing. If there's a bug or if somebody reports a bug. And I'm such a big fan of it because I have been, I've used Open Office forever, ever since I, worked, in the office like all the other people.
Right.
When I used to do that, but it's just something extra when you're out there and you have a business of your own. You're always looking to have something that's quality but save some money, and this is just yet another way to do that. And the open source DJ software are really for the educators, for the beginners, for those that want to toy around, play around, but don't or are afraid to use their main rig, their main computer, or they don't want to put Serato on another computer because the more computers that you put it on can cost you money. So with Mix, you can, and it's really, really similar to both Serato and Virtual DJ. If you put them together and they had a baby, it's kind of that. So it's just something cool to play around with. And it's a way to see if you really like this anyway before you start investing some money. Because once you get into this, now I'm going to play with the big boys. Okay, then buy Serato.
Right.
Or go buy Virtual DJ. Whatever. But buy whatever floats your boat and is going to make you money. If it's going to be easy for you, I do not care. I can guide you the right way. Somebody says, why do you talk about Serato all day? I'm a Virtual DJ guy. I said, because every time I walk into a club or these hot clubs anywhere, and I look at the DJ or I look on TV and I'm looking what's playing, I see Serato. That's all.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, if I go to a desert island and 95% of the cars are Chevrolets, and I'm not going to go out and buy a Yugo. I'm not going to do it because they're not going to know how to fix it or not going to have the parts on the island.
Yeah. But to that point, I will say, for me, I was pretty much brought up a virtual DJ guy, and I think that virtual DJ has come a long ways. You know what I mean? And there are pros and cons for both of them. I really believe that virtual DJ was made for mobile wedding type DJs, and Serato was made for more like club and performance type DJs. And that's why one has some features that the other one doesn't, and so on and so forth.
How about Tractor though? Then you got to talk about Tractor. Tractor takes it a whole new. It's almost like what the DJ Power used to be. Do you remember DJ Power?
Yeah.
I mean, that was something when Dick Clark invested his millions into what was called Dick Clark's Bandstand, and he went across the country putting these places around like Dave and Buster's. Everyone was equipped with, instead of a DJ, with DJ power. And when they had one in Pennsylvania and New York, and I saw these things, I said, holy shit, look at this. People thought I was nuts because I said, this is a computer and it's a big stack like you would see in the back of an office, you know, and it was a rack behind locked glass, but there for everybody to see. Yes, there was a DJ booth, but they only turned it on, you know, on Fridays and Saturday nights. And that was it.
Yeah.
You know, it was wild. But yeah, man, there's that. OpenOffice.org was the other thing. I mean, that's at the bottom of my list after talking about all of this. All of this is open source software. Mix, Get Paint, OpenOffice.org, all of that. This is software that even if it gets a bug, constantly gets fixed with the updates. And or if you know code, like one of my newest students, oh my God, he's 9 years old and he's writing all kinds of code. He's got 15 windows up on his computer. Wow. And I'm like, dude, no wonder Serato's running slow. Yeah, right. I see the red line. There's a red line in the top right-hand corner. Virtual has it too. They you know, a green button that turns red or yellow because you're utilizing all the CPU. Yep. And I'm wondering, what's going on? I'm like, do you have any thing running in the background? All of a sudden, I see all these windows open. And a lot of them are command prompts, like DOS prompts, or Unreal. Unreal, my brother. So, that said, they are just some. You got anything you want to throw or add to the spice? I mean, I can.
No, I mean, I think those are the big ones, you know, and I think.
Look. The one that made me money and can make anybody money if they listen to this, rewind it, and nobody else listens to this, and they say, wow, I can make banners for people. Charge $25 a banner. Get good at it. Poster my wall. I mean, right there was a spot where I'm like, wow, I can actually make some money and start advertising. And I did. I started advertising in a few spots, and I made some money. You know, that was just one. Ooh, here's one. It closed, but Google Google has beta versions of everything, and then they take it over for themselves. You know how that works, right?
Yep.
Before Google Voice was Google Voice, it was called Grand Central. I was a beta tester for it. I was able to pick my own phone number, pick a couple of them, put a word behind it, or words, and it was all free. Well, there was a thing called Community Walk. Community Walk, when you went to communitywalk.com, was powered by Google Maps. But it was, imagine a big Google Maps that you could draw up, and anytime you hit search and found an address, you could. But if you gave me your exact address, I could pinpoint and drop a pin and make it any kind of figure, color, and put any type of notes that I wanted inside of that pin. So I used it for scheduling when I worked for the American Wedding Group, because I had literally 400 to 500 people at tops, you know, when I was at my prime and overworked at that place. All a combination of disc jockeys, videographers, photographers, and photo booth people. And actually they changed it into baby photographers. So certain people did weddings, certain people didn't. And they were all in different states. So that's how I literally broke it all down and was able to utilize that, because imagine somebody calling you up, hey, Dave, I got a Dearborn, Massachusetts. And you're like, what? Dearborn, where, when, who, why? You're able to find the closest. And then what you do is you pipe the closest person you have available with the availability that you have on your people, you know, and then you schedule the gig. A lot of these guys with multi-ops, you know, I started talking, you know, and it's literally after I do these presentations or I have group talks, I talk with these guys. They're like, oh, and they get really interested in that aspect, because a couple guys talk about the old days. I used to have a big map behind me, and I would pinpoint all my DJs. And as the parties came in from sales, I'd look behind me and I said, got one. Here's another guy, because the closer the people you scheduled, the better. And Google Maps just recently opened this up, didn't tell anybody, didn't advertise it. It's a whole mapping system that they never had before, that allows you to do just exactly what Community Walk did. In other words, they took literally everything that Community Walk had and just incorporated it into their own little, Google software for mapping.
Right.
And you can call it whatever and however, you want. It's pretty sick. Yeah. It's under it within Google Maps. So you can create your own, but especially for multi-ops, those people that have multiple DJs, and other people, videographers, photographers, it's a way to, help you out with scheduling, mapping, notes of that sort, etc. I'm a big fan of Google and all their stuff. For example, my notes is Google Keep. I'm a big fan of Google Keep too.
Okay.
I mean, I also have a Google phone and, all the other Google damn gadgets. So, but that's it. My tips for today. It's getting, I can keep boring you all day long. So,
no, it's a lot of good stuff, man. Knowledge is king, and having to know what's available to you. And I feel like an idiot because I cannot seem to find this anywhere. So I'll look for it.
If you're looking for that link in that note, I wish I could, there probably is somewhere out there can go through all of my bookmarks that I have saved and print them all out. I think I can actually do that within Google Chrome. But you're saying this is photo and video software, right? Is a photo software?
Yeah. I'll find it. I've seen several of my friends in the creator world, and by creator I mean like obviously online creator world. I've seen them post about it before. I'll find it and share it in a future episode or something.
All right. I'm trying to look really quick. I know GIMP, but I downloaded GIMP. Oh, Photo Editor Online, Pixlr, Pixlr. There it is. That's the one I was using.
Okay.
PIX. Tell me if that's it. Because I went to that and I was like, oh my God, Becky. No big fun for Mixlr. But yeah, Pixlr. That was it. And I was somebody says, oh, you got to use this. This is online. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. This is not the one that I'm referring to, but this is pretty cool.
Well, it's I've used it, but it's not the green one. There's one that has a green, and I'm kind of looking through all of my damn lists and things like that. So, by the way, you don't even advertise it. You are massive all over TikTok too, dude.
Oh, really? Am I?
I've been. Oh, really? Am I really? No, I'm just giving you a pat on the back because I'm going to have to talk about that or a piece of that at the expo. I'm just like, I have a TikTok channel and the marketing department has been taking care of it for me and I haven't been. So maybe I should get a little bit deeper into it. But no, I've been learning a lot about it. And you're a monster, dude.
I'm getting there, man.
You're a monster.
I'm getting there.
Which leads me to this. You get your butt down to AC, and I want to bring you in. I want to bring you in on the seminar, and you talk about that, and be one of my examples.
Ironically,
I need to have a case study of somebody that's awesome, where people can pull up their phone and be like, "Oh, you were right. Mm-hmm. Why are they awesome? Because of this." One of the reasons, we saw Jess, and I talked to Jess. She's another one. She's all over TikTok. She's all over Instagram.
Yeah, absolutely.
And she's killing it.
Yep, she's doing a great job. Yeah, that's definitely like, hey, I'm not one to plug another show, but since it is my show, I'll do it anyways, right? If you go look at last week's Wedding Business Growth.
That's right, damn it.
Yeah, just go to weddingbusinessgrowth.com and there's a great interview with her on there.
Yeah, man. She is fabulous, and hopefully we can bring her on again. We were discussing that. I want to have some repeats. All the great talk shows or the great whatever, even now, which should evolve in the podcast. We got to repeat some of these greats.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to bring especially Too Tough back. I want to bring hopefully Keith back. I want to bring whomever, all these people that we had some really good chats with, and learned a lot from too. So we'll see, we'll see. So, you have anything to add before we?
I think just kind of glad to be back in the saddle a little bit, and chatting a little bit. And those of you that are watching, or those of you that are listen to the replay, just know that we're just like y'all. We're working, and we care about you guys, and we want to be here for you. And if you have topics you want us to address, if it's something we can talk about ourselves, we will. If it's something we need to get in some reinforcements to talk about, we will. Or if you just need to reach out to one of us directly and say, hey, I'm struggling with X, and we'll see if we can help you out with X.
Right.
I love helping people. That's where I'm transitioning the whole next phase of my life to. So I'm here. I'm here to support people.
Yeah. Look, and the same thing, I ditto what he said, what he said, that guy right there. See him? Yeah, I mean, it's what the school is about. It's about helping people, adults, kids. I have two of my newest students. They're the youngest, but most awesome guys. Are like 8, 9 years old. And they're both geniuses in their right minds, and they have such supportive parents too. And all my students do, and especially all the ones that are serious and that hang in there, because this is their life, and they want to keep with it. So, that said, yeah, let me try and talk you into hopefully coming down and joining me for the seminar. They haven't announced it when it's going to be, so we got to figure it out, and maybe we can get you a little comp place to stay to make it a little bit easy for you.
Well, I got a little tidbit I'll share with you. I do have to wait till we get off of live, but I'll share it with you when we get off of live, and then
all right,
and then maybe we can share it with everybody else soon. But
I'm
not allowed to share it yet. So
Okay. Yeah. No, I think I was allowed to share mine, but who knows? It was only for my embarrassment if it doesn't happen. Like, well, Greg, we're not going to have you again this year. Okay. Who cares? I'm just going to get sloppy drunk. I know. Nice. Hold on. But I'm pumped. There.
Oh, that's awesome.
I keep lobbing up these softballs, and
there you go. No, see, it's just my bad, man. I got to go to a couple different places to get to this thing. So.
Oh, okay. Now, when years and years ago, Radio Shack had this thing. It looked like a phone, and you would dial in numbers.
Yeah.
And I had that hooked in. This is how long ago my first podcast was. When this thing, the Foxcast or whatever, and I would dial in like 13. I remember 13 was that was your drum roll,
Yeah.
And the laughing one was kind of sinister. It was one guy with an echo. It didn't sound
nice.
And the applause sounded like somebody was peeing into a brook.
I gotta love it. That's too funny.
Oh man. But anyway, yeah, I do look, if anybody's listening to the replay, or live that is interested in coming on live with us and talking. I want to talk about a DJ pricing summit. I want to have it over the summer. And I want to put that together, and I want to talk about, pricing for us in the industry and the highs and lows of it. I think also, Cutlass would be one that would help me out with that and be pretty awesome, because, he knows both ends, the highs and the lows, and he'll be able to give the reasons why, because he's played in both sectors for a long time, and I respect this man's opinion. Yeah, I totally do. But there's a lot of, and anybody else that I'm going to have on there, there's a reason we have them all on there. You as one, and hopefully maybe we can even bring some of our board members on, from Name.
Yeah. I don't know if everybody would be ready for me, but I'm happy to do it.
Well, I look, and here's a warning, and I want to warn everybody right now. We've really not been that controversial as of yet. We've always been calm, cool, and collected, and mellow with our show, and happy, as Pharrell would say. But this can start to get a little controversial.
Yeah.
This is something that's going to need some building anyway, and even some promotion for a bit, probably about a month of promotion, because I wouldn't mind getting some of the big wigs in there if they want.
Right.
And seeing what they have to say. I mean, we know a couple of our own anyway, but I'd like a few others just to throw their 2 cents in. just to see why,
Yeah.
Well,
The pricing conversation is always going to be something that's going to be interesting. And I think the challenge is that everybody has different goals. If your goal is to do this full time and to make this a career, you can't look at pricing the same way as somebody who just wants to make some extra money to take their family on a really nice vacation or something like that. You can't look at it the same way.
Well, there's the guy that praises himself like that high-end steakhouse. What is it? Yeah, Ruth's Chris or whatever.
Oh, Ruth's Chris. Yeah.
Or the Capitol Grill, that one. That it's like whatever, the $500 steak or it's I get it. You're branding yourself as that. But then again, I know guys that are also branding themselves as, well, instead of making $1,000 on one gig, they'd rather get 1,000 gigs and make $100 on them. I kind of get it,
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of get it. There's certain and certain people don't understand. They're always asking me, well, how'd you get the city of Philadelphia? How'd you get this? How'd you get that? It's a bidding war. It literally is a bidding war. Some people have disagreed with the fact where, and I just heard somebody say in a recent, podcast, I'm not going to mention the name. I'm not going to mention, the form that is sold, but it said, some people say, what is your budget? And they talk about the different types of DJ. But I'll hit certain clients with that. I have to have a feel for them. I'm not going to come right out and say it. But if I've talked to them for half an hour, 45 minutes, and we're going back and forth, and I like the area, there's something I want too out of it. Let me be clear with that. It's not just them. I'm getting something that I want. Maybe I'm attacking the hall, and I said, I need a reason to go talk to Carol again, and I know it's going to be a lock for that hall. Then sure. Yeah, I'm going to give somebody a deal to get in there. There's reasons or a method for all of our madness. And that has to be taught. And that has to be shared, because egos get in the way, especially when money and entertainment is talked about in our industry. And I'll say it again, egos get in the way.
Ironically, if you didn't happen to check out Instagram today and you follow me, you might see a little something just about egos.
See, this is why we are birds of a feather flock together. So make sure you check out his Instagram. It's David Hanscom, just down below, right below where he is. You will see both our Instagram, our Facebook, and Twitter, how you can follow us. So with that said, we've gone an hour, my friend. You want me to take us out of here, and then we can have a little quick powwow and go have our steaks?
I love it.
All right,
I love it. Bruce Chris is calling.
Yes, Ruth Chris and the Capitol Grill is calling. Well, thank you, everybody. Thanks to all our sponsors, and thanks for hanging out. We are back. Who was that? What was that?
That was Vince.
Oh, this concludes another amazing episode of In the Queue podcast with Greg Curran and David Hanscom. Thank you for joining us. Please don't forget to like our podcast, subscribe to get notified of future episodes. Follow us on social media at In the Queue podcast. If you'd like to be a guest on our show, if you have any ideas for a show topic, please email us at hello@inthequeuepodcast.com. Also, join our text notification club. Please, 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 please. Text your name to 904-582-8807. That's 904-582-8807 to get notified when we go live. Thank you all for your support. See y'all next week, guys.
Bye, everyone.